Is YouTube is a way for me to communicate with the masses and actually teach, right? And have you ever heard of that saying? People that can't do teaches. Have you heard that saying? People that can't do teaches, which is a bullshit saying. It is. You can't become a black belt from someone who has never done it. Right?
Right.
Who's never done it. It's like expecting to be buff one day waking up without going to the gym. It's like trying to take classes from a dude that's overweight who can barely walk to the fucking gym, or from across the gym teaching you how to lift weights or being in shape. That makes no sense, does it? So the people that teaches well has done it correctly.
Right.
Okay, today I'm going to call this sales muscles. I remember a guy, his name was Tony Roach, and he was one of the guys that taught me the car business. Okay? He said you have to become a black belt. Oh, you know what? My blood sugar's getting low. And he goes, apacha! He goes, he's a sales black belt, right? He goes, well, here's some orange juice. I got some bananas. People tell me they're hungry. I said, you know what? I got bananas in there. We got drinks in here. We got chips, whatever you like, right? It's like when somebody throws a punch, you go, whack! And you block it, right? Same thing in football. Right? If this guy goes this way, you follow him, right? And you take the block. Or you're going to want to try to score a touchdown, depending on what side you're playing. But the end goal, either tackle the guy or make a touchdown. Right? Our goal is to sell a car. We do these little meetings. It's to develop our sales muscles, is what I call it. It's like, like today, I woke up in the morning. I woke up at 6. Remember, I was just telling him that I should have gotten there at 6:30 instead of 6:45 because I wanted to get here 15 minutes early, and I didn't get here until 10 till. So if I would have gotten that extra 15 minutes in there, and I missed a rep, I couldn't get 3 reps on one workout. I only got 2, and I looked at the time like, I got to get the hell out of here. Right? So I make adjustments. Same thing when we sell a car. We make kind of adjustments. Okay, you know what? Maybe I got to go switch into this car. They want to be at $300 a month. I got to be at this car. I got to be, $300 a month will buy you $12,000. In this lot, maybe 10 because we do short-term loans. We don't have, you know what I mean? You'll figure all this stuff out. Right? It's like when you go to this guy. I mean, is there days you don't want to go to the gym? Do you still go?
Sure. Oh.
Right?
Oh.
Because we're thinking of end results.
Yeah.
Right? I want to fit better in my clothes. His was like, I want to drop some pant size. I'm gaining some weight again. He wants to look buff. You know what? Don't you feel good in your clothes?
I do.
That's the end result. I know when I put my clothes on, I'm going to feel good about myself. Because it looks better when you know what I mean? When you're in shit. You're young, so you don't. We're a little out. He's a little older than me, but goddamn, I would. How old are you?
64.
64, and this guy moves around a lot, and he'll out fucking walk all these.
Oh yeah.
Well, and a year and a half ago, I had.
And he was in the hospital. This guy was in deathbed. I mean, he was like. Now, what's the survival rate on that?
There was an 86% mortality rate.
86% that you could die, and he survived that. Isn't that amazing?
Had 14 fucking operations.
That's just to show you.
But I was in shape going into it.
Yes.
Okay, by the grace of God, and that's the importance of taking care of your body.
And will and vision. He didn't see himself. He saw himself working back out.
Never
fucking. Never thought in his like, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to walk. I'm going to walk out of this hospital.
I'll ski before the winter's out.
Right? And that's what he was in his mind. You want to sell 20 cars, you focus on that first. But he did everything else in the middle. Right?
Cause and effect.
Cause and effect. Right? You first envision what you want to be, and then we learn everything else in the middle. We figure it out. He went to physical therapy. Same thing in sales. It's like with sales muscles, right? We get better at meeting and greeting. And we're going to get better at building rapport, getting more information. Of course, closing the deal. That's to the end case. Everybody can present and be nice, and everybody can be friends. But you know what? You have to be able to close them. Right. And you have to be creative, right? Get creative. My end vision is I always look at these people like Mark Wahlberg, Zac Efron. I saw that skinny little kid from High School Musical, and I see him now, and this dude is ripped. I was thinking to myself, I can do that because somebody else has done it. If they can do it, I can do it. I just got to do the same thing. Right. Do you think that he went to the gym once a week? Probably. Heck no. He was probably there 2 hours a day, 4 to 5 days a week. But that's how you get there. You become this best salesperson is because we do all the right things. We study, right? We read. We watch people. We put our keys, just the little things, a lot of that stuff. We study people, we become a student of our field, right? I became a student of my field. Because I knew a long time ago, I didn't go to school, I was a high school dropout, I was raised by a single mom, lived in a bad neighborhood. We didn't even have a car. There's times we didn't even have a phone. I had to go, if I wanted to go pick up I had to go to the payphone. Remember those things? I had to go to the payphone and put quarters in there to call my girlfriend. And that's how I got a hold of her. Okay? Anyway, right? Sales muscles. So you work out every day. I bet you know what, when you first start working out, were you sore? I was sore. And you know what, for like 2 weeks of going into the gym, I really didn't see that many results. I did feel stronger though at the end of 2 weeks. And then at first, I was the only one who noticed. Because I could see myself, I'm flexing on here. Sometimes I'm at the gym, I look at myself more than I work out. After a rep, I'm like, yeah, right? It feels good. It's like when you sell the car. Doesn't that feel good? Especially you, I see you all, you get so excited. I remember those days when you, gosh, So I've learned how to balance my emotions a little bit better. So I don't mess up. I get too excited sometimes. I run into a car.
Yeah.
I've done it. I'm not saying I've done it more than once. So that's why I tell you to be careful. Okay. I do that by experience. So the good news about having experience is why you get a physical trainer, right? Because she knows. You see the end result. You already see that she looks great. She's fit, right? That's what that's why you chose her. I was like, you know what? Sounds like she looks like she might, or he, whatever, whoever your physical trainers, they've already done it. They've done the steps, and it'll get you quicker to your goal because she's already done it. Somebody's showing you. They've already done the work. It's kind of like this. Dennis already done the work. I've done the work, right? That's how you're going to learn. You're going to learn way quicker than I did, right? Because it's a new school type of selling nowadays, and he's learned through the old school and the new school. I've done it both, and we've gone through both phases. So we can teach you stuff that we did in the past that still works today, and then other things that would work, right? And if we make phone calls, it gets us our mouth moving already. Does that make sense? We're warm. It's like stretching. So when you get to a customer, you're ready to go. You're ready to go. If you don't set up an appointment, it doesn't matter because it's a numbers game. You think everybody that passes by McDonald's buy McDonald's? No, it's just got to be enough people. Yeah. Right? We just got to close enough people. So we practice and and of course, the better we are at what we do and the more we work out, the stronger we get. You know what? The better the repetition is. Now I can tell myself I'm not kind of like shaking around. When I lift certain weights, I can see that it's more of a fluent motion, right? More fluent. You're more fluent with your workouts, right?
Oh.
And you just jump right in there. You just already know what you're going to do right before you get there. Same thing at work. When you're in sales, you already know what you're going to do. You prepare for it because poor piss performance, right? Have you ever heard that saying? Poor piss performance.
Piss poor.
Piss poor. Piss poor planning makes piss poor performance.
Oh, okay.
Right? So if you plan and you plan to be successful, and you envision yourself selling a car, making more money, and you educate yourself and you train, you'll get better. There's no other way of not getting better. Right? Even if you just don't even want to train. Have you ever seen a commercial? And then by the time you sing it the 15th millionth time, you didn't try to memorize that song. Next thing you know, you're singing it.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. You're singing it. Same thing with the radio. You don't try to memorize these words. Sometimes next thing you know, you hear it. It's repetitive. Same thing with working out. Next thing you know, not only are you getting stronger, you're getting more defined. And the same thing with sales. We're going to get more defined. We're going to get better. We're going to have a lot happier customers. It seems like it's easier. Right? It will get easier because you're gotten better. It's the same thing as working out. I know that today is the first day I woke up at 6 to go work out. I hated it. Did you want? I still went. Being able to sell a car when you don't want to is what's going to make you successful. Just doing it. Even though you didn't want to, you do it anyway. Right? Because that's what makes you great. Whether you fail or succeed, at least you know you did it. Today, maybe I missed one more rep, but you know what? I still went.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing you posted, bro.
Right? I still went.
Yeah.
So I'm training myself to do that.
Sustain.
Tomorrow, I'm going to be there 15 minutes earlier so I can finish my rep. I had breakfast today. I read, went to the gym, had conversated with my wife. I made her some eggs. We ate those boiled eggs together, and I read 5 pages of Think and Grow Rich. And while I was at the gym, I was listening to videos. Like, like motivational stuff.
Yeah,
I was listening to Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'm like, yeah, I want to look like Arnold Schwarzenegger. I hear him talking, I swear. I was watching it on, and he was talking about, he envisions
Stallone
himself.
still looks great.
Yeah, he envisions himself. He was growing up after the World War. And he envisions himself being a movie star.
And he's not
Becoming buff. Becoming Mr. Universe. He saw the guy from Hercules, the original guy. I forgot his name, but he was reading a magazine. He was trying to get out. He could either be a cop like his dad, a farmer, or whatever it was. Because Austria was kind of like small because they lost the World War. Everybody was all depressed. Alcoholism was really big. And then he wanted a way out. He didn't want to become a cop. He didn't want to be a farmer. And then he saw this magazine, and and he was reading about this. And he wanted to be Mr. Universe. He won it 3 times. Then became Conan the Barbarian. And it just has a lot of stories like that. That means if they can do it, we can do it, right? So when we work out, we're going to work out our sales muscles. We're not always going to be that great, but just do it anyway, right? That's the whole lesson in this, is we're building a sales muscle. You got Dennis, you got me. Today it's just the 3 of us.
Yeah.
Okay? All right, we might let you drive some cars. But if you can get creative and get them to drive first. I didn't say that. You can't drive cars. You're not allowed to. I'm on video. You're not supposed to drive cars, okay? So get them to drive you to the next lot. Okay. So, you like this car? Let's go in there. Okay. Meet and greet. Just smile. You know what? I'm proud of you. I know your leg hurts, and you fucking do it anyway. You know what's gonna... I know what drives you. Because you want a car. You want to help your mom out. You know what I mean? You want to look good. You see yourself in this successful... You keep seeing yourself. Because that's what's going to drive you to go through. Because sometimes this job gets a little stressful, doesn't it? Yeah. A little bit. Customers, you can't make... Sometimes you just can't make them happy. And that's... And you know what? He wanted a Lexus. He's going to get a house. He's going to get a tow truck. That's what drives us. That's what drives me. You know what I mean? I want to go to Monterey next month. I already knew that a couple months ago after I just got off another vacation. Because I knew I had another... And then I have birthdays coming up. You know, things happen all the time. So, and I plan for this stuff. If you don't plan, you're never going to get there. Okay? It's like a ship. You know, you could be the best captain and have the best crew. If you have no destination, you're just floating around in the middle of the ocean going nowhere. Right? So let's have a goal. You know what? If that ship wants to go to Alaska, that's where it's going to go. With the best crew and the best captain. And that's us. Okay? You're going to get a power pose.
Take any